Hey there folks, thanks for tuning in to another video review, and I am doing something pretty new today. I am actually comparing Disneyland pins and Universal Studios pins. Now, before today or before this video, I've never collected pins or really gotten into pins. I didn't really have a distaste for them, but I just didn't want to get into that collecting habit of trying to get 100 different pins and where to attach them and how to collect them and getting the pin binders and all that. But when I first went to Galaxy's Edge back in May, was it? Whenever they opened, that opening weekend, I saw this open edition X-Wing pin, and then I saw that they have these little mystery box X-Wing pins too that I wanted to kind of collect, and they have like the different colors of it, and I figured even though it's not the same size as this one, they can kind of match and create a little set. Unfortunately, it's pretty hard to find people buying the mystery box pins and opening them up and then selling them if they don't want it, and I don't go to Disneyland that often because I don't have a pass, and I don't want to keep buying $15 mystery boxes just to try to get the other X-Wing pins. So this is kind of where I stand. And more recently at Universal Studios, they were having the Pass Member Appreciation Month, and it was buy one get one free pins. So I love the Minions, and I figured I'd pick up some Minions on Vacation pins. I know these are completely different parks, completely different characters and movies and themes, and even the pins themselves, ones actually have characters versus the other ones that just have the ships from the Star Wars movies. But I figure we take a look at them and see what the differences are and maybe come up with a answer to see who is better. Again, I am by no means a pin expert. This is just something I somewhat recently got into and figure I share my thoughts about the pins. So let's start with the Disneyland pins here. Like I said, this was the open edition X-Wing pin, and it's just the X-Wing kind of raised from the Rebel logo, and you can kind of see some language in the forest in the back there. And this does look like Poe's X-Wing from The Force Awakens, or the new trilogy I should say. And overall it's pretty smooth to the touch and the glossy paint job, and there's a little bit of roughness on some details here on the X-Wing, but it's a pretty cool 3D design there. And on the back, of course, we have the Mickey rubber pin stopper there. This one was $12.99. And as you can see, I still haven't taken this off the card back, so let's do that now. And there is the back. Attaching the pin. And there you go. And it's a good size weight. You know, of course, it's all metal, so it's going to have some weight to it. And then this one, it didn't come on a card back because it was in a box, but you know who I ordered it from on eBay, they didn't send the whole box, they just sent the pin itself. But it has the same 3D design with the forest in the background, the new trilogy X-Wings. This one has Black Squadron, and then they made a little bit of an orange to contrast in the background. And this is more glossy all over, and you can feel the details and the little sculpting in the windows and the engine there as well. It's a pretty cool design, the double layer 3D. And the back with the pin stopper again. And it has a nice gloss and shine to it as well. And just to compare these two, you can see the size difference. So it's not significantly smaller, but you can see a significance when you put them next to each other like that. And now let's get into the Universal Studios pins. I'm pretty sure these were the same price, yeah, $8 each. So a little bit cheaper, and you kind of get more for what you see than the X-Wing Disneyland pins. The first one, the Minions are on their road trip. We have one of them driving. If I can get that in focus here. We got two of them hanging on the roof with the map flying all over. And hopefully that focuses so we can see it a little bit better. But there's all the stickers and saying Universal Studios and I think California or something. I know there's like a California map on one of these. And you can kind of see the front of the car there. And everything, I guess, I'm not sure how to describe these. I guess they're 3D because they're not exactly flat. You can see the Minions are kind of raised from the side. And you can feel the indent of the wheels and then the window, and actually makes you look like, or it makes it feel like there's an interior of the car because this minion is raised from the other window. And good color, and this one actually isn't as smooth and glossy as the X-Wing pins. It kind of has a rougher feel to it, almost like a paper feel, and they're definitely lighter. So let me go ahead and take this off. So here's the back with the Universal Studios logo, and their pin stopper is just a star there. So let me get that back in. And let's take a look at the other one. So this one looks like the minions are already on their little vacation. They've got their suitcase, they're all dressed up. And again, this has that same 3D feel to it. They're kind of raised and they're not just flat. And the same paperish rough feel to it. So good design, good paint, good detail on all of these. Here's the back as well. There you have it. There are those two pins. Now, I guess just looking at these two sets of pins, or just, you know, comparing the two, it is hard to compare them because they are, again, different themes, different characters. One actually has characters on it, one are just ships. Now, when I was looking through other pins at Disneyland, one thing, and actually specifically Galaxy's Edge, one thing I didn't like was that most of the characters had some kind of wording on it, either saying Galaxy's Edge, saying Resistance, saying First Order, and I'm not a big fan of that. You know, this is okay when it says Black Squadron because it's specifically for that squadron, and this one's okay because I'm not quite sure what this lettering says, but you know, it's not outright saying Star Wars, Disneyland, Galaxy's Edge. I like that, you know, simpleness, and even with these, even though they have Universal Studios stickers on the luggage and the cars, they're not outright putting that in your face. They're more so, you know, it's part of the accessories, part of the look of, you know, what you're collecting. Now, I will say again, because these are different, I can't really prefer one or the other, but I do like how the minions are so fun and energetic, and it's more of a lively pin, whereas the X-Wings are just, you know, the X-Wings with the logo, and I kind of wish they had ones that were more showing, I don't know, somehow showing them flying with some effects from the engines in the back. But again, you know, I'm not a pin expert. These are my first 4 pins I've ever collected from the 2 different theme parks, and I'm happy with both of them. I don't know how my future pin collecting will look like because, like I said, I don't want to go through so many boxes of those guys. And even for Universal Studios, I was really looking for some Simpsons pins, and there just weren't that many. So the stock and designs are pretty limited. I'm sure if I go on eBay, maybe some past designs will be better for me, but we shall see about that. So if you have any questions about these or any comments to share about pin collecting or just collecting in general, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, everyone, and stay tuned for my next video.